Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. God bless you. My name is Kross Marc Moses. I want to share with you once again this little message that I believe will change somebody's life, put somebody in the right direction, and make a difference in the life of somebody. So I'm just going to make it quick because mostly YouTube allows 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to put it up to that for us. Now, the title of this message is Not Just Believing, but Knowing Who Christ is. Not believing, but knowing who is Christ. There is this phrase that knowledge is better than belief. When you have a full knowledge of something, it's much better than when you just believe on that thing. So, for you to be effective Christian, for you to have the power, the potential, the ability to command things as a Christian, you need to know who is Christ. It's not just believing who is Christ. Believing alone wouldn't give you the access, the power, the motivation to command who you are. But when you know who is this man you are following, who he is, what he can do for you, what he represents, the power that he has given to you, it makes so much difference. I'm just going to give you a little example. When you go to a court, let's say you are a lawyer and you are representing somebody who is being charged by the state. Now, the state is going to be like, we are charging this guy for attempted murder. This is our evidence. They believe this guy is guilty of murder. Now, you as a defendant, you as the lawyer who is going to defend Mr. James, you are saying, no, he is not guilty. Now, that's not where it ends. For you as a defender, a defendant lawyer, and for the prosecutor, that is not where it ends. The court expects the prosecutor to bring every evidence. They need to know, they need to understand, they need to put on their line by line accurate evidence to show that this guy is guilty. Now, you as a defendant or as a lawyer who is defending Mr. James, you need to know Mr. James. You need to know what happened. You need to know his alibi. You need to understand why he said, I didn't do this, why he is denying it, or why he is trying to prove his innocence. So you don't just go and tell the court or the judge, he didn't do it. I believe he didn't do it. You are expected to bring in proofs, bring in evidence, bring in accurate alibi, things that shows that, yes, James is not guilty. Now, that same thing, that same scenario, that's this picture that I just put here relates to how you know Christ. You saying, I believe in Christ alone, makes you just a carrier of that signboard that says, I am a Christian. But that does not give you power. That does not make you a real Christian. When you become a real Christian, you alleviate yourself from a whole lot of things. Your life standards change. You can get everything you want. You are not supposed to be poor. When you knock in any door, it gets open. When you pray for sickness, it goes away. You can command things and it happens. That is not done by only believing in Jesus Christ, but that is also or must be done by knowing him. Let's go to the book of 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 12. Second Timothy, I beg your pardon, 2 Timothy 1 verse 12. He said, "For I know who I believed, and I'm persuaded that he is able to keep what I have committed to him until that day." Paul says, I know who I believe. You see, the two words in came here, believe and knowing. He didn't say, I believe in him. He said, I know who I believe. That means I know him and I believe in him. If you know Christ and then believe in him, that gives you double standard, double protection, double motivation as a Christian to cross every situation that comes across your way. Because you know and you believe. You don't just believe, but you know. You can prove. You have evidence. You have things to show that, yes, I know this man that I am following. He says, I know whom I believed. He didn't say, I believe in him. No, he said, I know him. He has the knowledge of who is following. He has the knowledge who has called him to do this job. Additional supporting Bible, I'm going to give you the book of Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. He said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, this is where knowledge comes in again. Knowledge is stronger than belief. Knowledge combined with belief makes you a super Christian, makes you a go-getting Christian, makes you a complete Christian. But believing without knowing is ignorant. It makes you a pole bearer. It makes you a sign bearer, not a real Christian. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. That means knowing Christ alone, believing in Christ alone, that is not it. You can still be destroyed if you don't have that knowledge. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Now, another instance is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. It says, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. This brings the word knowledge again. You don't just believe the truth, but you need to know the truth. You need to understand how Christ works. You need to understand the don'ts and do's of a Christianity. You need to understand the things that makes you closer to God and the things that takes you away from God. You need to understand the things that makes you to feel guilty to come to God and things that make you so proud to be in the presence of God. That is what it means by knowing the truth, and that truth shall set you free. You don't just believe in that truth, but knowing the truth. The ability to know gives you so much confidence of who you are. You're going for an interview, you believe you can get the job, and you go in there, they ask you a few things about the company or how the company operates, and you don't know. But you believe you can get the job. Now, that's a foul. That's 0 for you. But believing you can get that job as a Christian, knowing more about the company, knowing about the person who you are serving, knowing about the person who says, go there and command anything you want and you shall get it. That gives you a double CV. That gives you so much points, unlike the other person who is just believing in it. The book of Colossians chapter 1 verse 9, it says, asking God to fill you with the knowledge of his will through all the wisdom and understanding that Spirit gives. Let me take that again. Say, asking God to fill you with the knowledge of his will through all the wisdom and understanding that the Spirit gives. So when you go, you don't just ask God, let me believe in you. Give me the knowledge to know you. Give me the knowledge to understand how you operate. Give me the knowledge to know what my limitations are and what my limitations are not. Knowledge and wisdom, knowledge and belief makes you a good Christian. Knowing Christ and believing in Him gives you additional motivation to be a child of God. It makes you a super Christian. It makes you a bulletproof Christian. It puts you in a position that you have answers to every situation. You are able to give somebody a reason why you're not supposed to fail. You have a job interview. When you're going, you're not just going there because you believe you can get the job, but you know as a Christian that job is your birthright. You have a business proposal that you're waiting for somebody to approve. You're not applying it because you believe you can get it, but you know with the power given to you when God says, ask everything in my name and it shall be given to me. You know that for a fact. That means when you are going for that business proposal, you will get it. You have a marriage situation, you have financial issue, you have something that you're going through right now. You need to know God. Don't just believe God is there. Don't just believe you're a Christian. Don't just believe that God can do it for you. But knowing the reason why God will do that for you. Knowing the reason why that is your birthright. Knowing Christ makes you a super Christian. If you just believe, it's very easy. Oh, I go to church. I'm a Christian. You might be paying your tax. You might be doing a whole lot of things for the church, for the pastor. But at the end of the day, you did not have that ability to call yourself a child of God with vim. There is something we say vim, something like with attitude, with confidence. You don't, because you don't know Christ. Because you are not aware of who you're following. You just believe in Him. You just hear He is Christ, He can do good, and you believe. But you don't want to go deep. You don't want to study the Bible. You don't want to see Bible references. You don't want to see lines. You don't want to use the tools that has been provided to you as a Christian. When you make use of these tools, when you make use of these words, when you make use of the tools that God has given you, your Christian level is not going to be 0.1. It is going to be 1,000 plus. And when you are in that level, when you are in that realm, when you are in that power, you possess everything that you wish. People ask me, why is it that Christians, some of them are poor, but the pastors are rich? Because these pastors, these men of God, they understand. They know who they are following. They believe and they know. So today, I want you to know Christ. I don't want you to just be a believer, but I want you to know Christ, believe in Him, and that will make you a super Christian. Thank you for listening.